Hello, networkers. In this episode, I will answer one or maybe two of your questions that has been voted the highest among you so far. And here are the questions and the results. Now, many of you wanted to know, should I specialize in routing and switching, VoIP, firewall, storage, virtualization, or something else? When I received this question initially, I was going to remove it from the list because I talked about this topic in many other episodes. But it was voted as a question that still interests many of you. And it could be that when you are starting out in networking, you are more focused on what you should mostly study and learn for hands-on experience. If you are already a network engineer, you probably want to know which area is the most demand and spending your time moving in that direction. But when it comes to what areas to specialize in, well, starting out, you have to know about routing and switching. Understanding how to configure routers and switches, routing protocols, VLANs, and trunking is important. That is the foundation. And from there, security, data center, and programmability are hot areas for network engineers. So please check out these particular past Ask the Network Engineer episodes where I talked about these topic areas in more details. But to add to this conversation, it's important to have the foundation of routing and switching really understood and how to configure those technologies. Then you move towards understanding and configuring security and data center solutions if that interests you, which leads me to the last point that I want to bring up. You should specialize or do work in an area that interests you the most. If you don't like security and maybe you like storage networking, then master that field. Just keep in mind that what you enjoy most might not be in huge demand. Hence, opportunities may be limited. But keep those factors in mind and watch those particular past episodes. Now, let me answer another question that is somewhat kind of similar and that was posted. And that is, what is the best firewalls to learn as a beginner? For this, I would recommend definitely the FortiGate firewall, which is a good firewall to learn as a beginner. Another option is SONICWALL. So these are great and affordable firewalls with a great user interface. The features and the options are not overly complex, which is great for beginners to gain security experience. There are many advanced elements to those firewalls, but those aren't really implemented in environments today. On the other hand, Palo Alto network firewalls is what I recommend if you already have security experience with other firewalls. And if you are working in large size environments, it's difficult to learn about Palo Alto network firewalls because the pricing is drastically higher than most other firewalls in the market, even though those other firewalls are still rated very high in several security markets and organizations. I see more FortiGate firewalls in large size networks compared to Palo Alto network firewalls. I work with Palo Alto network firewalls in large environments that have a very large budget. I see it in government networks, which have a fairly flexible budget. I see it with schools and nonprofits where the equipment is donated by big companies. I have worked in many nonprofit organizations with the latest Cisco hardware because of the donations that they receive. I'm sure I'll bring this up again, but FortiGate is what I would recommend for learning firewalls starting out. We have a dedicated training course for deploying the FortiGate firewall step by step on our website. And that is it. We are done with this episode. If you have any questions for being a network engineer or anything in the networking field, you can post those questions at routehub.net/ANE, which is also where you can vote on upcoming episodes of previously posted questions. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep networking.